which is one of the poorest villages in Africa, in Burkina, so essentially one of the poorest villages in the world. And community, the village community was always incredibly important and essential in our house, right? It's where we took our values from, right? My father always told me, n'oubliez pas jamais d'où vous venez, right? So that's French. N'oubliez pas jamais d'où vous venez. Never forget where you come from, right? I'm sure many of you that are immigrants have heard that from your parents as well. Like I said, no electricity. We bring the first generator to my dad's village. We bring the first TV to my dad's village. The only channel we were able to get was African music videos playing 24/7. Now, a lot of these kids, anyone under the age of 10 had never seen a TV or even witnessed electricity before, so pretty much every night for that week, we had kids, we had babies all the way to kids, to teenagers on our front porch up until about 4 in the morning, dancing and passing out while dancing, listening to African music radios. So just to give you a little bit of perspective of what my country is really like. To others, they seem like how can folks live that way? But to me and my brother, you know, it was really amazing to see the happiness, collaboration, and the power of community. Right? Une main lave l'autre. One hand washes the other, is what my dad always told me. Right? That's the power of community. That's the impact my community has had on me. Right? And I hope we can build a community, continue to build a community here that'll be impactful for all of us. So I know that story may not be too unique. I'm sure a lot of you guys share similar stories, but just wanted to show you how my family has had that impact on me. You know, and it's been interesting so far. Like Laguerre had said, I come from a biology background, went to the University of Connecticut. I remember at Southern Connecticut, but gotta shout out those Huskies. But, you know, I started college initially wanting to be a doctor. I went in thinking I was going to be pre-med. I'm sure there's a lot of folks in here thinking about being pre-med. I know what it's like, especially first-generation parents or immigrant parents, always bringing that hammer down about, hey, you got to be a doctor, you got to be a lawyer, you got to be a dentist, you got to be this, you got to be that. It's a lot of pressure. Right? Always thought I wanted to be a doctor until I actually shadowed a doctor, and I realized I was strictly doing it for prestige and money. So that was a tough conversation to have with my parents, but I've always been intrigued with science, so I stuck with it, stuck with the biology major, and went through it. You know, like we had talked about earlier, right? Life is never a straight path forward. So college was a difficult time for me. I had my first daughter when I was in college, my senior year of college, actually, and it was really my family and my community that were able to gather together and help support me. Now, granted, I was 45 minutes away from my family at the time up in Stores, but they were able to rally around me and my daughter's mom and help support us and really help us get through graduation and get to where we are now. Now, I want to get into a couple things. Bear with me. I'm going to use some sports analogies. It's something that I use to help describe my life. My career, Dee and I work, so if you're not a sports fan, just bear with me, right? So while at UConn, I was lucky enough to be a men's practice player for the women's basketball team. Some of you may have heard about that, but yes, I was a men's practice player on the women's practice team, and I was considered a women's basketball player because I would practice against them. Had to go against NCAA Clearinghouse. Gino Ariemo and his coaching staff were looking for more physicality. UConn at the time would never take walk-ons, so I was recruited in the gym. There was about 12 of us that formed this team of men's practice players. And now pretty much every school, every Power 5 school has them. So the year that I joined, we went back to back. That year we had a bunch of legends: Tina Charles, Renee Montgomery, of course my personal favorite, Lionel Meda. Coach Ariemo was no joke, and neither were the girls. I actually had to get 6 stitches in my lip after a mean elbow from Tina Charles. The program was no joke. Obviously, us in Connecticut, we're familiar with their 8-time national championship program. And the mantra for that season, especially that 2009-2010 season, was chase perfection, catch excellence. It was on the back of all of our shirts, all of our practice gear. Oops, my bad. Okay, we're good. It was on the back of all of our shirts, practice gears, everything. Chase perfection, catch excellence.